as you can see, I got some binders, okay? We are going to talk about some team binders today. Oh yeah, because I have a new channel shout out for you guys. You guys may want to go check out Bader's Hobby Life. A really fun channel, guys. I feel like Bader has a lot of similarities on the way I collect and the way he collects, okay? A lot of similarities. You guys may like what he's doing over there, okay? So you guys may want to check out what he's doing over there. Now, Bader recently made a video, okay? He's kind of calling me out. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Kind of choking me, you know? Bader made a video, okay? He made a video called Let's Trade. And if you're unfamiliar with that video, check this out.
Hey, I just saw an awesome video by G's Mikey. So G's Mikey, I'm linking you. Hope you don't mind that I'm putting you on this. You just got that lot on eBay, and I think I was doing dishes, and it's sitting there, and he's like, "This is not exactly what I thought I was getting." And you started showing cards, and I'm just like, "You got to be kidding me! There's no way." The dealer must have made an error, man, and sent you the wrong stuff. But I was pretty geeked out. I thought it was phenomenal. And as you were getting those cards one after another, I was thinking, dude, I would love to trade you for some of those. I would love to trade. And so it got me into this idea. I'm a set collector just like you. I collect similarly on that part of my hobby as you do too. I like to buy big lots, break them all up, build my sets, but the thing that I don't do is I never get rid of my duplicates. So now I have a massive excess of duplicates. I've got my 50s to 79 duplicates. All right, so this is all 50s, 60s up to here, and then this portion right here is 70s. Now I keep all my sets in binders. Like for example, I just saw you a week or two ago. I'm talking to everybody, but right now I'm just pretending I'm talking to Mikey. So right here I've got my 56 set, which I love that I'm working on. I've got 40 or 33 cards to go left on this one. All right, and I've been working on that one for a few years, but I also have this stack in here and here. I put these to the side that are also 56s, and I also have a secondary binder with a bunch of 56s in there. And I'm like, dude, I need to do something with these. I don't know if anybody else is in the same boat as me. You're not a seller. You don't want to sell.
All right, guys. So that's Bader for you. Okay. If you're unfamiliar with this channel, go check him out. Tell him, geez, Mikey sent you. All right. So moving forward, he collects very similar to me. Okay. He buys lots and then he set builds, right? He puts them in the binders. Okay. And sometimes when you're a set builder, you come across some doubles, right? Right. Now, the only difference is between him and I is he's actually storing his doubles so that, you know, he can potentially trade, which is something new that he's doing, okay? He's never done that before. He's never sold any cards before. Okay, kudos. Well, back in 2020 and 2021, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I unloaded on a whole bunch of cards. That's because the card boom exploded, right? So I took advantage of that, and yeah, I sold about 90% of my collections. Nothing of the heavy hitters. I kept all that, but pretty much everything that I was set building, pretty much. Okay, and I used that money since I took advantage of the situation. I used that money and I bought other cards with that. Okay, so I'm kind of just like rotating, you know, my money into the hobby. I'm not, you know, making a profit or anything like that. It's going back into my hobby, something like that. So to me, I consider that kind of like trading. Okay. Not physical trading, because I don't really know a whole lot of people who do that since I joined YouTube. I know a lot of you guys, but before YouTube, I didn't know anybody. Okay, so pretty much what I would do is, you know, I'll set build, get my doubles, and I'll sell them, use that money to buy some big name players, you know, Manos, Mays, Aaron's, you know, for my sets, and never ending story, okay? However, going off topic here, when I sold my cards in 2020, 2021, and I started reset building again, because I did make a video, guys, that I wasn't going to set build anymore. That's because I pretty much unloaded everything, and I was just going to buy star players and Hall of Famers. But you know what, guys? Buying the old benchos makes the hobby so much funner. I swear, it gets really boring just buying Manuel Mazes and Aaron's and Jackie Robinsons and all those cards. No offense, but it gets kind of boring. I love baseball cards and the difference of all of them and the photos and the you all get the point. I just like the variety of collecting. Let's just say that, okay? Now, when I got back into set building, about 22, I think it was, which, you know, it was, that gap wasn't that far away, guys, by the way. I was still set building in my Dodgers. That was pretty much the only thing I was continuing to set build. In fact, when I sold my collection, I didn't sell any of my Dodger cards at all, okay? I was still set building that. Now, when I got back into set building, I decided to do one thing. Put my doubles into use. Yeah. And that's where all this comes into play, okay? So I'm gonna explain to you guys exactly what I'm doing with my doubles when I buy these small lots, okay? And it's pretty awesome, guys. Bader, if you're still watching this, you may want to consider doing what I'm doing, because it just makes the hobby 10 times more funner, especially when you come across a lot of doubles and triples. Now, if I do have any triples, then I would use that for trade bait, okay? There's a lot that I just showed recently where I had like 3 or 4 or 5 cards of whatever. Yeah, you know, some of those cards are going to be trade bait eventually. But in my collection, I'm a set builder, I'm a team builder, I'm a player collector. Yeah, so I need a lot of those same cards. You know, I need a lot of those same cards. But again, you know, I'm willing to trade with anybody, you know, once I'm there and I get to that point. But let's open up the binders so I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing, and something that you might consider doing, or you guys may want to consider doing, because it just makes the hobby 10 times more fun. It's never ending. I don't get bored of it. Let's just say that, guys. You know, I'm always looking for things that I can use in my collections, even if I have 2, 3, 4, 10 copies of it. I don't really care. I just like baseball cards. I like looking for deals. I like looking for collections. That's just what I do. I can't picture my life without doing that anymore. I don't know. Ever since I got back into the hobby in 2008, you know, buying baseball cards left and right and just looking for those deals. I just love it, the nostalgia of all that. But enough talking, enough rambling. Let's open up some binders real quick. All right, guys, so these are my binders, my team binders, okay? Now, if you're unfamiliar, I decided to put a low-grade Star Player Hall of Famer on each of one of these teams, okay? Each one of these cards actually have a flaw to the card, whether it's a gum stain, you know, writing, creases, paper loss, X, Y, and Z. I haven't quite found the card that I wanted for the Angels, by the way. That's why we have an El Bencho, but everyone else is pretty much stacked with a Star Player or Hall of Famer, as you can see. Again, these are all low grade, and I always tell you guys, if you find them on the cheap, pick them up so you can use them for arts and crafts. Arts and crafts. Okay, so these binders, okay? I pulled these binders out specifically because they're pretty titso, guys. They really are. And I'll show you guys in a minute. Okay, so this is my Dodger binders. This is what I'm hoping to accomplish with all these binders, okay? This is the reason why all my doubles are going into here. So check this out. My Dodger binder pretty much starts off with the team cards, okay? I have a lot of them. And then some miscellaneous stuff, like this little flag that I got from a lot that I bought a long time ago. These are all my schedules, my Dodger schedules when I was a kid. I don't think they make those anymore because everything's all digital. But I had a whole lot of them. I had more. I don't know where they went. Now, I don't have them in here, but I actually have a lot of ticket stubs too. So eventually I'm going to pull out my Dodger ticket stubs and then insert them into each of the teams that they played. So for example, I have a whole bunch of them for the Giants. So instead of putting them in my Dodger binder, I'm actually going to insert them with my Giants. You know, stuff like that. So just creating different things, just making the hobby very creative for me, entertaining as well. Okay, so it starts off with some playoff cards. Okay, playoff cards, and then a little bit of the modern stuff as well. Just whenever I come across them, you know, I'm not buying modern cards anymore. So if I come across them from a lot or something, I'll stick them in there. But I'm not gonna go anything too crazy as far as that goes, unless it's vintage. Okay, some more Dodger stuff here. And then on this one, on this binder, it starts off in 52. Okay, I haven't bought any early Bowmans yet. I haven't bought any doubles for the Gaudis or anything pre 52. I haven't added to this collection yet, which eventually I want to, considering the Dodgers have been around for, you know, about 100 years. So as you can see, you know, 50s, 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 pretty much. I think this is actually 60, but whatever, I'll fix that later. So as you can see, this is where all my doubles are going, pretty much. They're all going to set build 18. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm hoping that all these binders right here will look exactly like this Dodger binder. Okay, now check this out, guys. This is my A's, my Oakland A's, which eventually is gonna be Las Vegas A's, which is just sounds silly, but whatever. Playoff cards. Okay, some vintage ones. These are actually gonna go like in the front pages. I just threw them there for now. And then it starts off on 52 again. Okay, 52. Now the cool thing about this, and one of the reasons why I started doing this, is because it starts off, check this out, guys, Philadelphia. It starts off in Philadelphia. Okay, and then it goes to Kansas City. Okay, and then it goes to Oakland. So you can see the transformation of this. Okay, and this is exactly why I wanted to do this, you know, why I wanted to go this route instead of just kind of selling my doubles. Okay, here's one for Minnesota. Okay, Washington. Okay, Washington, and then bam, look at that. Oh, so that's still Washington. Bam, Minnesota. Crazy, right? Ain't that awesome, guys? Something that you guys may want to consider doing. Again, it just keeps the hobby really fun. Here's these three themes right here: the Braves, the Reds, the White Sox. These are obviously teams that've been around for 100 years. So I actually do have some play balls in here, but I'll show you guys in a minute. So Milwaukee. Well, actually, it'll start off in Boston. Actually, I don't have any cards from Boston, but then, you know, they transfer to Milwaukee, and then from Milwaukee, they go to Atlanta. So the transformation, see? That's what I'm talking about, guys. So I actually do have some star players and Hall of Famers. See, these are the ones from Boston, the Boston Braves, and then boom, Milwaukee. And then whenever they get to Atlanta, which is 66, I believe, or 65, 66, I don't know, something like that. Okay, here's my Cincinnati Reds. Again, another team that's been around for 100 years. But you can see the transformation, guys, between, you know, the late 60s to the 50s and the 40s. And it's really fascinating, guys. They have a lot of playoff cards too. I just don't have a lot of them in here. Okay, so let's open up the White Sox real quick. Again, these themes are all similar. You know, nothing too crazy until I open up the Yankees one, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But as you can see, the White Sox one, you know, they've been around for a long time as well. So this is really fun. I love doing this. Something I've always wanted to do, and I just started doing it. Okay, so my Yankee ones. This one's going to be a little bit different, okay? Because this is the only binder that I actually have my 70 stuff in. All the 70 stuff for all these cards, I mean, for these teams right here, they're actually put away in the count boxes. Because I come to realize, because I actually had a binder with all the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And the binder started getting fat. So with all these binders, they're pretty much pre-1969 until I can't fit anymore. And then eventually I'm going to have to get a second binder, a secondary binder, maybe even a third binder of whatever team to collect pre-1979. So this is my Yankee one. And for some reason, when I buy lots and cards, I get very, very, very few Yankee cards for some reason, guys. I don't know. It seems like everyone like kind of pulls out the Yankee cards for some reason. But Look at that, my Mantle right there, my Roger Maris. So that's what I'm doing with my doubles. Got another Maris right there. Now, I do want to say this, guys. I have this Mantle already in the 64. Okay. I have the Mantle on the team. Now I just need the Mantle in my player run, the same one. So eventually I'm gonna have to buy this Mantle again, eventually, so I can add them to my player run. So that's pretty much what I'm doing with all my doubles. I don't have any triples yet, Bader. However, when I come across that, maybe I'm assuming later this year, or maybe next year, I should start coming across like triples. Once I do that, then I'll definitely touch base with you. So for all of you guys who are set building, what are you guys doing with your doubles? Because I'm putting my doubles into use, and perfectly good use. I don't know. To me, this is really fun, guys. It's just another way to collect. It keeps the hobby interesting, entertaining. Like I said, not only are you set building, you're team building, you're player building, and the list goes on and on and on. And yeah, you never get bored of the hobby, guys. If you have enough interesting things in the hobby, it'll never grow old. Now, I'm still working on my star players and Hall of Famers that I pulled out, so once I figure all that out and I insert them in there, then, you know, I'll start touching base with some of you guys on whoever is interested on some of the triples and quadruples that I have eventually. But I'm not quite there yet because I don't have a whole lot of doubles. This is pretty much all my doubles right here. However, Mr. Bader, if you have an Instagram, send me a message because I'll be working on that very soon. And if there's something in there that you're interested in, just let me know. Yeah, just let me know. So, pretty cool video, guys. I'm just kidding. It's just informative of letting you guys know what I'm doing with my doubles and stuff that I do outside of set building. So, until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Toodles. Oh, and by the way, guys, I don't know if you noticed this, but I have a Jim Gilliam here as my Brooklyn Dodger, which I got to change because I have a Jim Gilliam here for my 1954 Bowman. I can't have two of the same cards in the binder next, guys. You know, I want different cards. That's the whole point of all this, you know, to see as many different cards. So eventually I'm going to have to change that. Or maybe I'll change that one. I don't know. Whatever. I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles.